I heard you say by compass. God is the reason why I'm so happy today. It's a blessing to realize one day is as 1,000 years with God, and 1,000 years as one day. For this cause I have arisen to say, be happy today, and at least 1,000 years longer. When I use my salutation, peace, good health, goodwill, and a good appetite, good manners, good behavior, all success, and all prosperity, life, liberty, and the reality of happiness, I am not using this salutation merely as a melody, nor as a motto, a piece of poetry to be rehearsed, but to be lived and put into expression. When you look over this vast audience, and over the audiences in all parts of the world, in countries where I am not known personally and have no anticipation of going personally. Since God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, when I am apparently absent, I am present. Wheresoever they are assembled together today, the 29th day of April, 1954, because of their conviction and because of the great spiritual awakening They are recognizing God's actual presence. And according to my original composition as a model for the consideration of the people, the spirit of the consciousness of the presence of God is the source of all supply, and it will satisfy every good desire. This is not just a supposition, and it is not just a melody, a composition, but it's our conscious conviction and realization. When you are conscious of God's presence, live it and express it universally, you will find God to you is the source and the supply of everything your hearts desire. That's why in faraway countries you can find those who recognize God's presence have the abundance of the fullness, and they are conscious of good, even as we do here, where we are personally serving. Aren't you glad? I have broken that line of demarcation. I have brought an end to barriers and localization. I have established your going in the land of the living. And truly you can say and can see the abundance of the fullness of the consciousness of good. No space is vacant of the fullness thereof. And as no space is vacant, by the virtue of the fact that God is actually present and standing in the midst of the living, not down in the regions of the days where all things are forgotten, but down here in the midst of the people, lifting up a standard of perfection so that they might vision the perfect and bring it to fruition. For it is written, be ye perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Then I say, let us live continually in this recognition, visualizing and materializing, reproducing and personifying that which we have visioned. Bring it into expression. Make it a common thing for each and every person. Aren't you glad? So none will eventually lack in God's abundance. For all will be happy and free, even as we. This day marks the 8th anniversary of my marriage to my spotless virgin bride. Wonderful. Yea, God to his creation. Oh, I did say scripturally, and you have it there very explicitly. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Wonderful. After man leaves father and mother and be joined unto his wife, they two are one flesh, humanly speaking. But this is a great mystery, say the apostle. So I speak concerning Christ and the church. I mean to fulfill the prediction of the prophet. Yea, the prophets, the sages, and the seers. Fulfill a prediction of the apostle and his epistles from A to Z. Aren't you glad? Therefore, as I am, so can you be. None need go around in lacks, wants, and limitations. None need go around soliciting, borrowing, begging, and stealing. For if you are conscious of God's presence, you will not have the nature to do such things. Aren't you glad? You will not have the mind to do such things. But automatically, matters are adjusted satisfactorily, economically, as they are mentally and spiritually. And I say, live in this recognition and build upon this foundation. When we say life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or when you say, remember, we are not pursuing. We have. We have life, we have liberty, and we have the reality of happiness. That our political document called for, as many pursued it, but did not find. Aren't you glad? And I say, this standard shall be lifted all over the world. For the thing you vividly visualize, you tend to materialize. Therefore, vividly visualize the name of my spotless virgin bride, and observe the purity, the holiness, the virtue, the honesty, the competence, and the truth, and the infinite love. And she and me combined, where there can be no division whatsoever. And visualizing these qualities and expressions, you tend to materialize them as aforesaid. You tend to reproduce them in your life. For our marriage was not for the purpose of propagating lust and passion and self-indulgence, human affection, or any such nefarious system of men. But I came to purge them from all such vice and crime prenatal within them, and prove to the world conclusively you can live soberly, righteously, and godly. You can be honest, you can be true, and you can do all of the biddings of God, even as we do. I need not go further by explanation, for it is well depicted, and you can see it in the faces of these my adherents. Just think of such purity, such holiness, such virtue, such honesty, such competence, and such truth. By visualization, you can reproduce and bring to fruition in your own life and in the lives of those with whom you come in contact. I thank you.